Well, hello, welcome again to our reading of the Greek New Testament. We're reading Luke's Gospel. We're in chapter 23 up to verse 26. And this is the crucifixion of Jesus, which of course is mentioned in the three other Gospels. Kai hos apegagon auton epi labominoi Simona tina kouranion ekominon ap agru. Apethe kan autoton staron ferein opisten to Jesu. And when they led him away, epilabominoi, it's literally having taken hold of Simon, a certain Cyrenian, a certain man from Cyrenia, as he was coming ap agru from the field. This is from Epi to Thami. They placed it upon him to carry the cross behind Jesus. Ekoluthe de autopolu plethos to lau kai gunaikon hoi ekopton to kai ethrenun auton. And a polyplethos, a great multitude of people and of women who were lamenting and wailing over him, that followed. Now the verb is singular because it's agreeing just originally with the polyplethos, a great multitude of the crowd. And of the women who, now kopto is to strike or to beat, to knock on it's the word you use to knock on the door. This is the middle form here, which is the sense of to beat one's breast, so hence to lament or wail perhaps. And this is from threnio. A threnos is a dirge, so they were mourning for him. Straphes de pros autas ho Jesus epen thugateres Hierusalem me cleati ep eme plain epiautas cliate kai epitatechna humon. And Jesus, having turned to them, he said, "Daughters of Jerusalem, do not weep over me." Plain is used in that very strong sense of but, weep over yourselves and over your children. Hoti do erkontai hemerai en hais erusin makariai hai sterai kai hai koiliai hai uk egenesan kai mastoi hoi uk ethrepsan. Because behold, days are coming in which they will say, future from Lego, blessed are the sterile, the barren. This is an adjective, but it's being used here, of course, as a noun. So blessed are the women who have not given birth, who are barren, and the koilie, the wombs. The root here is this coil root, which means a hollow place, and so this word comes to mean wombs. You often get the word for stomach, gaster, used for a womb, but here it's the more classical word used for a womb. It literally means the hollow place. So the wombs which have not given birth, and the breasts which have not nourished. This is from Trepho, if you're looking this one up, and it's example, I think I may have mentioned before, of Grassman's law, where the original form was threpho, and the second aspirate deaspirates the original, so you get trepho. And then when the sigma turns the phi into a psi, the aspirate comes back, so you get ethrepsa for the aorist form. So, and who have not given given nourishment. Toti axontai legain tois oresin pesade ef hemas kai tois bunois kalupsati humas. And we have a quotation here from Hosea chapter 10, verse 8. At that time they will begin to say to the mountains, dative plural from oros, pesete, this is an aorist imperative from pipto, the aorist is epeson, root is pes, so this is a second person singular strong aorist. Fall upon us, and to the bunois, and to the hills, cover us. Hoti hoi ento hogro xulo tauta poiesin ento xero tit genetai. Because if they do these things, now we're getting a sort of idiomatic expression here, so it's literally it's with the supple wood, with the damp wood. Xulon is wood, so if they do these things, we would say when the wood is supple, what will happen when the wood is dry, from xeros, meaning dry. So we get a sort of idiomatic sense. The possible sense may refer here to the Romans, so in other words, if they treat an innocent man thus, what will happen to the guilty? May be the sense of this fairly cryptic verse, but again I'll leave the commentaries to explain it in more detail. That's what it says literally. So because if they do these things when the wood is supple, what will they do with the dry wood? Agonta de kai heteroi kat urgoi dua sonato and hierothani. And they were leading also other kat, or this is from kaka plus erg root, evildoers, there were two of them, with him, and hierothani to be put to death, from anhierio, to be put to death. We've come across that word before, I think. Akai hoti, and when aelthon epitotopon to kalumenon cranion, and when they came to the place which is being called cranion, the skull, you get that word cranium of course from that via Latin, the place which is called cranion, the skull. Interesting, of course, Luke doesn't use the Hebrew term Golgotha, because his audience may not know what it meant, so he uses a Greek translation of the name of the place. It wasn't called Cranion at all, it was called Golgotha, but it means the place of the skull. Eke estaris in auton kaitus kat orgus, hon men ecdexion, hon men ex aristeron. And there they crucified him and the evildoers. Now we get a nice, well not nice, but anyway, but grammatically interesting hon men and hon de, one being on the right and the one on the left. The next verse, verse 34, is in double brackets here, so there's doubt about whether it was original or not. Hodiesus elegant parte aphes autois uga oidasin te poiusin. A very famous verse. And Jesus began to say, O Father, forgive them, from aphiemi, for they do not know what they are doing. Dia meridzomenoi de tachimatia autu ebelon clerus. And having divided his garments, they threw, from bellow, clerus, lots. Kai heste ken holaos theoron, and the people were standing there, theoron, looking, or perhaps we would say looking on. Ex emukterisdon, de kai hoi archontes legontes, alus esos in sosato hiaton, e hutos esti ho Christos to theou. This is a funny verb here. It's ek mukterizdo. It may often translated ridicule or sneer. The basic verb mukterizdo is often has the sense of to snort. It's put their noses up and so on. So the X simply makes it much stronger. So they sneered. So the rulers began to sneer, saying, it's imperfect here, he saved others, let him save himself. So we get an imperative, aorist imperative, third person singular here from Sosdo. If this man is the Messiah of God, ho electos, the elect, the chosen one. En epexan de auto kai hoi stratiotai pros komenoi oxos pros verontes auto. And also the soldiers coming towards him, they mocked him. It's an aorist there from Empisdo. They mocked him, offering osdos, oxos, I should say. Oxos is a vinegar drink to him. Yeah, I think it was meant as a kind of painkiller to some extent, but wouldn't have done that much. But offering vinegar to him, kai legontes, and saying, "E su e hobasilius tonio dion soson siaton." So if you are the king of the Jews, save yourself. Ein de kai epigraphe ep auto hot basileus ton iodion hutos. And an epigraphe, well, we get the word epigraphical and so on from this. So it's an inscription. And so there was an inscription. Well, ep auto, and there's variant readings here with this one. There was an inscription. Well, it's perhaps above him. It's hard to know how to translate that here. It's just ep. It's written near him or above him or something. The king. This man is the king of the Jews. Now, in the other Gospels, we get more complicated story here about it being written in various languages. All we get here that there was next to him or above him an inscription. This one man is the king of the Jews. Heisteton cremastenton kakorgon e blaspheme auton legon. And one of the evildoers, cremastenton, this is from cremanumi, to hang. So one of the evildoers that were hanging there began to blaspheme him, saying, Uki su eho Christos, surely you are the Messiah. It's a question, so expecting the answer yes, surely you are the Messiah. Soson siauton kahema, save yourself and us. Apokrithes de hoheteros epitimon auto ephe. Udi phobe suton theon, hoti ento aute crimate e. And the other one, having answered, he began to rebuke, from epitimao, takes dative, him. So, sorry, it's a participle here, of course. This is a participle. So the other one, having answered, rebuking him, participle, fa, he said, do you not fear? This is the second person here of it's that deponent. It is a deponent passive, actually, phobeamai, and this is the second person singular. So do you not fear God, because you are, literally you are in the same sentence, the same judgment. So since you are, we would say, since you are under the same judgment. Kai hemas mendikaios, axia gar hon epraxamen lambanomen, hutos de uden atopon epraxin. Now we do get a nice men and de balance here. We, on the one hand, justly, for we have done, from prasso, we have received, apolambano, we have received things worthy of those things which we have done. So we have done, so we have simply received worthy punishment for the things we have done, we'd say in English. Hutos de, but this man has done nothing atopon. Well, atopon is an interesting word. It can mean strange, out of the way, literally. It's alpha plus topos. We might say nothing untoward might be a good translation of this here. For this man has done nothing untoward. Kai elegen Jesu mnesthetimu hotan elthes esten basilean. Su. And he said, Jesus, remember me. This is imperative from this verb of remembering, from memnesco. Remember me when you come into your kingdom. Kai epen auto amen soi lego semeron met emu esse ento paradiso. And he said to him, truly I say to you, semeron today. Esse is from the verb eimi, it's the second person singular, future. You will be with me in paradise. Literally, in paradisos originally meant a garden. It's a Persian word. So you will be with me in paradise, we normally translate it as. This particular section is not in many of the other, in all the Gospels. The idea of the repentant thief it's in Luke, but it's not in the other Gospels, or all of them anyway. And that's the next section from chapter 23.